redundancy. Is it worth it? Well, it's only worth it if you have something majorly go wrong with your tank, i.e. a power cut or a pump break. And then it's one of those things where you either wish you did put in some redundancy or that you're glad that you did put in some redundancy. So, this J-Cod 6500 pump, I already have one of these. It's running my tank. Heater, Eheim, only a cheap heater, but I already have a heater in my tank. And this, a battery power or a backup, well, I'm running electricity, so what do I need that for? In the last week and a half, I've had my pump just stop working, like literally just stopped working, and I've had electricity issue, not where my pumps were or where my tank was, but in the kitchen. But it could have been in the front room where my tank was, and that was out overnight. So with a pump, it was not the pump's fault. So I just want to say that because it is a J-Cod pump. I know they're seen as cheap pumps. The pump stopped working. It was late at night. I thought, here we go, this is going to be an absolute train crash. Took it apart and it was absolutely filthy. Now, I've not had a tank run in a year yet, but the amount of calcium build-up was absolutely amazing. What I will say is, I don't know how this was still working. I should have taken a picture of what it looked like, but you know, I took it apart and you couldn't even move the impeller with your hand. It was that encrusted. It was crazy. I was absolutely chiseling off with a screwdriver the build-up. So why it got so bad, I don't know. It could be because I'm running Triton, and I know it's a real strong mixture, so I don't know if it, and obviously as it's dosing directly to the pump. I don't know if it's that, but yeah, the build-up was crazy, and I'm actually really surprised the pump was working. So hats off to J-Cod. I cleaned it, it's working again, but straight away I thought to myself, you know what happened if I wasn't there? That pump would have been broken, I could have been at work, and that would, you know, the tank would have had no pump. I could have come home from work, it's late, I'm not going to be able to get a new pump. So for me to just have one backup is worth it. Heater, I've had no issues with, but again, heaters come and go. I mean, at the moment, my heater's been fine, to be fair, but they do break, they're known to break, and I think it's just important to have a backup. So this is slightly underpowered for my tank. It's nothing fancy, but to have the two on there makes sense since we're doing this. And the battery backup, this isn't cheap. This is like £170, whatever it is. But I literally had all the electrics go out in my kitchen, less than a week after I had this go. So I was already in the mindset that I'm going to get a new pump. Started to think about the battery backup, ironically, and lo and behold, issues with the fuses in the kitchen. And so for me, yeah, look, it's quite expensive to buy things that, I've got no love for this. It's just a battery. I've already got one of those, and I've already got one of these. But when you do have stuff go wrong, that's when you start to realise that actually, how much money do you throw into your tank? How much is your tank worth? So for me, the amount of time and effort that I've put into this tank, it doesn't make sense for me to save another £200-300, whatever it will be, and then have a heater blow, and I've got no spare heater. Although, to be fair, I've got a couple, but I think you kind of get what I'm saying. Or for the pump to break, and then you've got no pump, and it could be, late on a Sunday, bank holiday, anything, you're in trouble. And again, although to be fair, in the UK, touch wood, we don't have that many power outages, not in London and that anyway. But your electrics can go. Mine went, and it was just lucky that it was a different room. 24 hours without any electricity would have been a problem. Yeah, okay, I could have used an extension cable, but if the whole house goes down, you could be in some pain. So for me, it just makes sense to, at this level, to protect the amount of money that I've thrown at this tank. It's silly not to. So, although not exciting, backups not exciting at all, for me, it just made sense. And so I think it's worth having a look at your tank, thinking about the time you've put into it, thinking about how much a new pump's going to cost, how much is a new heater. Battery backup's slightly different depending on what pumps you're using, but it's definitely something worth looking at.